So we've gone through, we've created a holiday schedule, and not just recreated a holiday schedule, we've actually edited the holiday schedule as well to support more than one custom holiday event. Now that's great and dandy, but how is it possible for one to be able to, let's say, further edit the holiday custom event, or to potentially create a custom holiday event outside of the process of creation of a holiday schedule? That can be done through the schedule configuration dashboard as well. However, to navigate towards it, again, if it is that you're logged out, you have to log in as an administrator to get to that point. So from here, we will navigate through the keyboard and enter in the administrator pin, for which we've set this device, set it to be 123456 for this particular device. And so from here, I can go through and navigate to the holiday schedule tab. Now, per our last edit, we modified the name of our holiday schedule to be called Sale. If you were to now go through and really modify or manage our custom holiday schedule events, one can actually do that by tapping on the Manage Custom Events. From here, you get a listing of all of the currently created scheduled events, or custom events. You've got, for example, the custom event for Winter Sale. You also have the custom event for Spring Sale. And if we were to go specifically under Winter Sale, for example, you'll also note that Winter Sale is currently scheduled to be taking place from April 15th through April 28th. And at the same time as well, Winter Sale is being used in the holiday schedule called Sale. So you can come in through here and you can potentially further edit this particular custom event to change perhaps the name of the schedule, the custom event in itself. Let's say, for example, the S is not sufficient. You want to expand that further and include the ALE as part of it. You can add in AL as well as the E to make it truly say Winter Sale. So by that, you can press done, and by pressing done, you have officially edited the Winter Sale custom event to truly say Winter Sale instead of Winter S. But let's say, for example, you want to create all of your custom events before it is that you actually go through and create a new custom holiday or a new holiday schedule. You can do it back here. So let's say, for example, in this case, we want to say, you know what, we're going to create a holiday schedule for much more so of spring break for college. We can come through here and say, you know what, we are going to actually set this name to be spring break. So SPRING space, and a part of me just wants to go with spring break as an abbreviation. So I'm going to go with BRK. So we've got R over here and we've got K back here, and that's going to be spring break. Well, spring break usually kicks off at around, the 15th-ish of March, but it tends to be much sooner than that. So let's have our spring break actually kick off on the 10th of March, and let's have it go for 2 weeks. So it's not going to end until more so the 14th of March in itself. So we'll come back here and we'll choose the month of March, and we're going to choose as well for it to kick off again on the 10th of March, and we're going to have it end the 14th of March. So we'll continue to go until, actually let's have it end on the 15th of March. So we'll have it be 15th here, and now we want it to be repeated annually as well. So by that, then we have a case in which we have officially created a new custom event that is spring break, that is going to be running on a yearly basis, that is going to run from March 10th to March 15th. And so by that, we can press confirm, and now spring break is officially on the list. So let's say, for example, we want to then go through and create a holiday schedule that is specifically going to be running during spring break. I can go through and press on this add holiday schedule, and from here I can go through and say, you know what, this holiday schedule is going to be the spring break schedule, but I'm not going to write out spring break. I'm just going to go and abbreviate spring break as well. So I'm going to go P, RG, or RNG. I guess I just decided not to put the I there. And break, I'll go with what I did with the prior as well, and I'll just say B, R, and K. Oh, wrong letter. Delete, and K. Done back here. We've got spring break. It's running on 0 holidays. We'll go back here, and if we were now to scroll all the way down, you will see that all of the custom events or custom holiday events now appear on this list and are disabled, right? We had winter sale. Winter sale is there and it's visible. We have spring sale, which is spring S, which is there and visible. In addition to that as well, we also have spring break. So what we'll want to do is toggle the spring break in such a way that it is added onto this schedule, such that if I go back now, it is going to say, hey, you've got one custom event that is driving this particular holiday schedule. That custom event is spring break. So I can come in now and say, hey, from spring break or during the range in which spring break is taking place, at approximately 8 a.m., I actually want the lights to just dim. Or let's say we want it at 50%, because we want it at 50% for maintenance to come in and to still be able to operate everything accordingly. So we want the lights to be on, but we don't want them on to be at full bright as what will be taking place during normal scheduled times when individuals are actually in the space. So we'll set the light level back here, and we'll enable channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and potentially channel 4 as well. And in this case, because we don't want to go ahead and control each one of the channels individually, and we want them all to be in sync, we actually have what we refer to as our master slider. The master slider makes it that for all of the channels that are enabled or that have been associated to this particular lighting control, if I was to go through and enable them and then move this slider, their light levels would actually adjust accordingly to the light level that I want those channels to go to. So in this case, I actually want these channels much more so to go to approximately 20%. So let me get this to 21%. What you'll note is all of the channels that have been enabled are now set to 21% accordingly. So by that, I can go back, and I do not want to disable any switches, nor do I want to enable any switches, nor do I want to modify any of the sensors as well. I will keep everything to be operational during this time of the holiday. So I enable that. Whatever I do with the start event, I have to do with the end event as well. End event, I'm actually going to have it execute until 6 p.m. So if I was to come back here and choose the time in which it should be running, I'm actually going to have it be that it's going to go till 6 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening. So I press the back button here, 6 o'clock in the evening, right? Come back here, 6 p.m., come back here, and I want the action in this case to again go back to all off. So to go from 20%, it is now going to go, it's actually going to go to 0%. I have to select all of them, of course. And as a default, they already are set to 0%, so there's no need for me to modify the sliders at all. I can now go back, and boom, just like that, I've got the end event. Now, because the lights are really just going to 21%, I don't really want to deal with blink warning, so I'm not going to do blink warning for this holiday schedule. So I'm just going to go ahead and confirm that, and now what you've got is you've got a sales schedule, and you also have a spring break schedule as well. So if you were to go under spring break and you want to navigate and see what takes place during that time, you can go onto the calendar view, and from the calendar view, you can navigate back, or you can possibly navigate to the future as well if you'd like to change the year. But spring break, as we had said, was going to be from the 10th onto the 14th. So by here, if I'm on the 12th, I should be hit by that spring break schedule as well. So I can come back here now and say, hey, let's go to spring break or to March. And what you'll see is in March, we are going to be executing a holiday schedule, which is spring break. So that confirms that the schedule is taking place. It's got its start trigger, and it also has its end trigger. So we can exit this particular view accordingly, and go back again to where we were when we started.